It seems like over the last few years, ammo and guns are the primo things for thieves to target. And recently, there were 2 trucks filled with 7 million rounds of ammo coming from one ammo factory on its way to Texas, robbed. 7 million rounds. Now, this video is really focused on where it went and where it came from as well, primarily because I believe there's a lot of hypocrisy coming from this particular theft of ammo. So let's just kind of get right into it. Ultimately, what you had the Aguila factory in Mexico with 2 trucks of ammo leave. Both of those trucks were stopped by armed men. No shots were fired. Every single box of ammo was missing from those trucks when they were finally recovered a few days later. Both of those trucks on their way to Texas with ammo. Generally speaking, a vast majority of the ammo was 5.56 ammo. Secondary was 40 and then 22 LR and a few other calibers as well mixed in there. All of it gone. Now I want to take a moment and talk about this particular heist because currently there's billions and billions of dollars of lawsuits coming from Mexico suing gun manufacturers in the US because of the volume of gun crime taking place by Mexican cartels in the country of Mexico. They're blaming it on companies like Smith & Wesson. However, what we are seeing more recently is, generally speaking, there's a good amount of guns and ammo being smuggled into Mexico. But recently, there's quite a bit of guns and ammo being smuggled from Mexico into the United States. And you can't blame American gun manufacturers on your gun problems when you're manufacturing ammo and you're constantly having it stolen. 7 million rounds is huge. If 7 million rounds of ammo was stolen in the US, it would get a lot of attention. But when 7 million rounds of ammo is stolen in Mexico, it doesn't get a lot of attention. Now, Mexico's gun problem has nothing to do with guns in America. It has everything to do with the culture of violence that's taking place through organized crime in Mexico and being fed by the ammo industry in Mexico. There's so much ammo being produced in Mexico that some of it's being smuggled into the US of all places. Now, I want to kind of talk about this heist specifically because there weren't any shots fired. Nobody was hurt or injured at all. And only those 2 trucks were targeted. So it's very much believed that this was an inside job, that this particular job clearly was an inside job because they knew exactly which trucks to rob. Nobody was hurt or injured. It went kind of flawlessly without any hiccups at all, successfully getting away with 100% of the ammo on board. Those 2 trucks accounting for about 7 million rounds of ammo. So ultimately what you have is you have an inside job, most likely, in Mexico from Aguila, the ammo manufacturer. And that ammo is believed at this point to have made its way to the Mexican cartel. That's what that is all about. So I make this video primarily to say, here what you have is you have Mexican gun crime taking place in Mexico being fueled by the ammo industry in Mexico. If I have guns that have no ammo, it's pretty much like having sticks and rocks. So you can't continue to blame the American gun industry when you're fueling those guns with Mexican bullets. And that's really the point of this video, is that there's a point where people have to take responsibility for their own industry and their own cultural violence. This is something that we can't sit there and point the fingers at Smith & Wesson over. If Mexico was not producing millions of bullets on the regular and losing them to the Mexican cartel, then maybe they might have an argument that's at least not hypocritical. Let's put it that way. So right now, here's what you're looking at. 7 million rounds of ammo mixing from a Mexican ammo manufacturer, Gia, and that ammo has made its way to the Mexican cartel to fuel guns in their culture of violence. It is what you got. You know, and you can't point the finger at the American gun manufacturers. You just simply can't. When you're producing all that domestically and losing all that ammo domestically, you can't keep pointing the fingers this direction. So there you go, 7 million rounds of ammo missing, making its way to the Mexican drug cartels, most of it being 5.56. Any thoughts or insight on any of this? Definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say that most people watch this channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. Greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. And I also want to thank those of you who look through the comments for those prayer requests and also pray on behalf of those requests. It's really kind of a beautiful thing. And if you are a praying person, there's a lot of heavy prayer requests coming. So thank you for that. And thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.